What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am actually very tired right now making this video, but we hit a pretty major roadblock with the Genesis Coupe LS swap. This information as well that I'm about to share with you is very important if you're going to be LS swapping your Genesis Coupe, and it's going to be all about the transmission and the shift location, and we're going to hop into that right now. I've been continuing the grind on this car this whole time, and it's been a pretty long list of things not going in my favor. We got a brand new coolant reservoir that leaked right away. We repaired that and reinstalled it. And then there's a dang mouse in here. It chewed my seat, my Sparco seat that we installed. And it's not too bad, luckily, but he's leaving turds everywhere, and I can't believe he's still in here. Alrighty, I'm gonna get you guys up to speed real quick. This is my transmission. It's a T56 Magnum F transmission. There are three variants of the Magnum transmission, just the standard Magnum, the Magnum F, and then the Magnum XL. So the Magnum F is for F-body cars. That's what the F is for, essentially. It's for like Firebirds, Camaros, whatever. So our shifter isn't going to line up directly with our OEM shift hole and bezel. So on cases like this for swaps, Siki has a 5.5-inch shifter relocation that will put the shifter where it needs to be to line up with the chassis you're swapping in. So the root of our problem, that piece right there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing shade at Siki at all, because literally all the other parts I have for this swap are Siki. We got the Siki trans mount, the drive shaft is from Siki, motor mounts, we got headers, like everything is from Siki. So you may be asking, why does the shifter relocation that Siki and ISR and basically all of them, why do they suck? Well, the answer to that is just the notchiness and the bad feel. I personally have never driven this car yet with this, so you may be asking, how do I have, this strong of opinion without even driving it? I am a part of the Facebook swap group for these cars, and pretty much all I've heard is just negativity with the relocation. Just notchiness and just sloppy, super sloppy, even in gear. So at this point, we're just gonna have to address this issue, and I feel like it's better just to do now and get out of the way than to mess around and have to do it again later. So the answer to our problem here is to just go with the Magnum XL transmission, because it's gonna line up right with the hole, and we can just connect a shift rod directly to it and not have to use a relocation. Now, the last piece of information that is important to know about this is that there's two versions of the T56 Magnum XL transmission. The Ford version of the XL has been around for quite some time, to my understanding. A lot of people don't know they actually make a GM version now. So in the case that you would run the Ford version, you have to swap out the pilot bearing inside the crank, which I actually have a fresh one installed. I actually have everything installed. Obviously, you guys can see that. So this is kind of not good news to me that we have to take all of it back apart, but it's not too bad, and I don't think it will be. So the reason that GM matters is because we should be able to keep the pilot bearing that we have installed right now. If we can leave that pilot bearing in there, all we have to do is just unbolt the transmission from the bell housing, pull it right off the back, and honestly, it'll make it a whole lot easier leaving the clutch and everything bolted up instead of removing everything. Sounds easy enough, right, guys? All right, let's get started. Last thing we need to remove is the shift rod right here, and we should be good to drop this thing out of here, aside from the clutch feed line. And come on. Boom.
Reason number one, why to wear safety glasses.
Yeah, there you go. Wear your safety glasses, kids. Only thing left before this thing drops out is just getting all these bell housing bolts out. We're gonna get all the ones that we can, and then we're gonna try and drop the transmission down just a little bit, and then we should be able to get to the top ones.
Soundstripe.
Alrighty. Whew, not too bad, but also not fun. The T56 Magnum F is now out of the car and it is never going back in. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we got the transmission out of the car. So now we're gonna go ahead and get the new one ordered. I actually posted this for sale. Someone with an F-body car, like a Trans Am or something, will be able to use this just fine. For me though, I need a longer trans. We're gonna go ahead and order the Magnum XL GM version. I did call some companies. With the GM version, you do not have to change the pilot or anything like that. It's pretty much the same trans, just longer. What I mean by that is this rear section right here. The front is pretty much the same across all Magnum transmissions, but the rear section here is what varies in length. Right there's the culprit. Right here is why we're doing all of this. You can see it a lot better now with the transmission out of the car. This thing is, you know, made pretty well. I mean, it's good quality stuff. It's all billet, but just not the feel we want. And obviously you can see how much farther the shifter has to come back. So with the new trans, it will actually mount right here and we don't have to use this at all. I'll show you guys in car right now. We have the feed line kind of tucked to the side. And this is my LS7 clutch kit. I installed this a good while back, but you can see the pilot bearing still in there. We don't have to change any of this. The bell housing is still on the motor, so all we're gonna have to do when we get the new trans is just bolt it up just how we unbolted this one. One thing left to take off on this transmission, slave cylinder with the bleed line, and then we're gonna just take this shifter off and put the old Tremec shifter back on it. Voila. Well, it did suck a little bit having to take things back apart that you put together, but honestly, it was not bad removing it at all. I'm hoping the installation of our new trans goes pretty smoothly as well. So do not end up like me and get a Magnum F, regular Magnum, even T56. Like, I would 100% go with the T56 Magnum XL. Thank you guys for watching. I am going to end the video off there. Unfortunately, we do have to wait for our transmission to come in stock. They just released them, so we're going to be down for a while, but we're going to start on this bike, maybe the Eclipse too, because the bike needs some work, and honestly, we're at a stopping point with the Gen aside from the throttle and starter issue, which we have. We'll get into that in another video too, but she's close, but obviously we got some work to do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for all the support and watching. I really appreciate it. Peace out.